Last chance, Elon Musk waiting for you. 5 minutes before he cancels. You know, most videos start with a question, but let's skip that. Because right now, you don't have time for another distraction. In 5 minutes from now, this window closes. Everything you're about to hear, everything you're about to feel, it's about to expire. Elon Musk has been waiting, not for someone, not for anyone, but for you. For you, right now. And there's a reason behind that. Don't look away. Don't scroll. Don't check your notifications, because 5 minutes is all you get. Imagine, right now, wherever you are, maybe sitting on a bus, maybe in your room with the world blurring outside your window, or maybe you're working late, watching the clock tick forward, thinking all your chances have already come and gone. Elon Musk is holding a message out to you. But he's not one to wait forever. 5 minutes. Not a second longer. After that, this vanishes, forever. Pause for a second. Really. Close your eyes if you have to, and let everything slow down just for a heartbeat. Because that's how opportunity feels, it slides up silently, while the world is still loud all around you. You feel it, don't you? That weird tingle, that anxiety that tells you something big is about to happen, if only you actually let it. But maybe you're thinking, Elon Musk? Me? Why? That's the question everyone asks when something impossible taps on their shoulder. Maybe you think you're not ready. Or maybe you tell yourself you're just here to waste time, let the algorithm drive you somewhere new for a few blissful seconds. But listen to this, algorithms don't care. Musk does. He's watching. He's waiting. And 5 minutes from now, if you're not here, he moves on. It almost feels like fate, doesn't it? As if, among millions scrolling through endless waves of noise, you're here, listening, feeling your heart begin to beat a little harder. That's not a coincidence. That's not chance. That's alignment, and it's rare. Because most days, most people let their future drift right by, 1,000 tiny moments, unnoticed, unclaimed, left behind as they spiral down the endless feed. Pause, let that sink in. Imagine, for just one moment, that everything up to this instant was building to this exact opportunity, invisible, maybe, but always there, pulsing underneath your ordinary day. And now, the clock is against you. Because in less than 5 minutes, someone else could take your place. Musk could close the door, move on, and your window, gone. So, if you're still listening, you're already in the smallest club you'll ever belong to. The club of people who didn't walk away. The club of people who pay attention, who sense that a message isn't just another throwaway line, but something sharp and electric and dangerous. This isn't the kind of energy you get from a tweet, or a headline, or a TikTok soundbite lost in a million others. It's the kind that makes your hands shake and your mind wander into what-if territory. And here's the thing. Elon Musk has always moved fast. Too fast for the doubters. Too fast for the careful, the calculated, the ones who need every answer in writing before they move a muscle. You know that already, rockets, companies, controversy, Mars. He bets everything, always, on the people who trust their gut and jump in, even when it doesn't make sense. That's why this has to be urgent. That's why he's only waiting for 5 minutes. Because opportunity isn't polite. It doesn't send a calendar invite and tell you to tidy up your desk first. It knocks, shakes the foundations, and if you pause, even just to catch your breath, it's gone. Pause again. Listen to what your body's telling you. If you're anxious right now, if you're itching to look away, that's the test. That's the signal. Your brain is trying to keep you safe, trying to drag you back to comfort, to routine, to the warm security of maybe next time. But what if right now is your only time? What if, for once, the window isn't just wide open, it's calling your name? Picture this, just for a few seconds. You, looking back after today, remembering that this was the moment you didn't flinch. That out of every ordinary minute, every wasted scroll, this was the one you grabbed before it burned away. Elon Musk, 5 minutes, and only you. Let's be brutally honest. The world expects you to scroll. The world expects you to miss things. The world expects you to never rise above the average. But you know what every breakthrough shares, from SpaceX launches to the wildest entrepreneurial dreams to personal revolutions? They all start the same way: a spark, a message, a call, and somebody who showed up right on the edge of the deadline, when everybody else was too busy waiting for things to get comfortable. So, let's see if you're really different. In 4 minutes, it won't matter what any motivational video told you yesterday, or what any influencer posted last week. The only thing that will matter is this choice, this moment. Do you stay, or do you let it go? Pause, breathe. This isn't about being perfect. It's about deciding something matters before you even know why. That's the Musk way. That's the way of everyone who's ever bet on the unknown and won. For you, right now, it means sticking around long enough to find out how deep this rabbit hole really goes. Let yourself imagine, for a heartbeat, Musk flipping a coin. Heads, it's you. Tails, it's someone else. You've got one shot. No explanations, no warnings, just a gut-level sense that something different is happening, right now, for you, not next week, not after you've checked your inbox or finished your chores or fed your doubts. Here's what will happen if you stay. The next 4 minutes aren't just time on a clock, they're a test of nerve, of curiosity, of whether you can trust yourself to find out what comes next. Most people can't. They bail. They tell themselves they'll get another shot. You know how rare it is to get a real shot? About as rare as Elon Musk waiting for 5 minutes, on the other side of the world, for exactly you. Pause. Maybe you still don't believe it. That's okay. Skepticism is human. But take a second to feel that doubt, that twist in your stomach, that flicker of hope you can't explain. You're almost there, almost past the hardest part, the part where everything in you wants to run, to hide, to scoff at coincidence. But what if it wasn't coincidence? Most people, right now, have already walked. They skipped, they scrolled, they shrugged it off. Not you. You're still here. And that? That's something nobody can fake. That's edge of your seat defiance, of boredom, of routine, of what the world told you you could have. Now, what's next? What comes after you choose to stay, to see what Musk might say, just in case this really is your last chance? He's never been interested in what everyone else is doing. Elon moves differently. He spots possibilities where everyone else sees madness. People said electric cars wouldn't work. They said reusable rockets were impossible. They said talking about Mars was a joke. But where most people saw risk and embarrassment, Musk saw something else, a narrow doorway, a fleeting minute, a reason not to wait. That's how you know this isn't just for show. That's why this 5-minute window exists at all. Because hesitation is the #1 killer of dreams, and Musk? He despises hesitation. He bets on movement, on the people who can feel what matters most before it's logical. Pause, let that truth settle for a bit. Think about all the moments in your life where you almost did something that would have changed everything. Maybe it was an email you didn't send, a number you were afraid to call, a risk you talked yourself out of because you convinced yourself that real opportunity would show up again, but easier, later, when you felt braver. You know what happens the next time? Nothing. The door's gone. Someone else got there first, or worse, there's nothing left but the echo of what could have happened. And that's what this 5 minutes really means. It's now, or never. Since you're still here, eyes on the screen, hand not moving to swipe, brain still feeling that pressure in your chest, you're already proving that you can do more than the average person. The world doesn't need more people waiting for perfect circumstances. The world needs people who'll lean into fear, who'll look at their own doubts and say, I'm going anyway. Imagine if you adopted that muscle, right now, just for these few minutes, how much of your story would change just from saying yes before knowing the outcome. Let's get even more real. You know why 5 minutes? Why not an hour, or a day, or until you're ready? Because the universe always moves on. Elon Musk is not a patient man, and the world he creates is not a patient world. Everything worthwhile happens in flashes, in uncertainty, in those seconds where you make a call while others freeze. That's when new worlds get built, and that's how you land on the other side, standing in places you never thought you'd be. There's a story that never made the headlines. The time Musk bet his last dollar, all his companies in the red, friends warning him, experts doubting him, employees scared out of their minds. You know what he did? He moved. He placed the bet. He didn't wait another 5 minutes. If he had, you wouldn't know his name, and all those tweets and headlines and documentaries? They wouldn't exist. Almost everyone you've ever admired has a moment like that, but you'll never see it. Only they know how close they came to missing it all, how close they came to walking away at the very last moment. Pause, and think, how many moments have you let pass, just because you thought you would get another shot? Right now, Elon Musk is not asking you to build a rocket or start a company or change the world in 5 minutes. He's asking you to notice, to stay, to pay attention to the pulse that tells you something important is about to happen. That's the first step. It's also the scariest. But the ones who actually get somewhere in life, they're the ones who act when it counts most. They're the ones who hear the warning bell and turn toward it, not away. This is your warning bell. If you could see into the future, would you want to look back on today and realize you hesitated when everything inside you was pushing you forward? Or do you want to be the one who says, I was there. I stayed. I let the moment wash over me instead of running from the fear of the unknown. Now, breathe in, and breathe out. Let that tension roll through your shoulders, down your arms, into your hands. What you're feeling is the physical response to a challenge. It's the same adrenaline Musk feels every time he pushes, launch, and waits to see if impossible becomes possible. This isn't just a metaphor, it's what happens when your body knows it's time to choose. People love to say every moment is a new opportunity. But that's not true. Most moments are just air, passing, forgettable. Real opportunity is rare and obvious only to those watching closely. It never arrives in safety. It always shows up in discomfort. In the form of a disappearing message, a countdown you can feel in your bones, a challenge issued right to your deepest self. Pause, this is not a trick. This isn't marketing language designed to make you nervous for fun. This is the one message that only the different ones hear. The doors for average, for next year, for never-ending maybes, they're not even here. There's only this pulse, this question, this voice asking, what if this really is your last chance? Let's flash forward. Imagine the version of your life where you stayed scared, scared to open, scared to try, scared to sound ridiculous or take a shot or even listen for 5 uninterrupted minutes. What does that life look like on the other side? Safe, predictable, nothing bad happens, but nothing amazing does either. Musk didn't build what he built by protecting himself. He built it by trading comfort for chaos. All great things come from chaos, and chaos always starts with deciding you can handle the unknown. Maybe right now your mind is coming up with reasons to leave: chores, work, social media, anything easier than staying in discomfort. But here's where your story splits. The people who click away are writing the same story they always have: safe, unfinished, unresolved. But you? If you're here, really here, you're learning to live in the uncertainty. That's where the real stuff begins. You're not meant to be ordinary. Ordinary people don't even make it this far. They don't care if an opportunity's knocking, because they're sure the world will come back for them later, softer, less intimidating. It won't. The world rewards the ones who answer on the first ring, a little sweaty, a little scared, a lot more alive. And if you're still here, you can feel it, the pulse, the urgency, the chance slipping away, and you realize, wait, maybe this is about me after all. You're right. It is. There's a strange comfort in missing out. You get to keep telling the same stories, you get to stay safe, insulated, just one more bystander in the background of someone else's highlight reel. But let's be honest, comfort has never been the answer. Not for Musk, not for anyone who ever made a dent in the universe, and deep down, you already know that. So, what if this isn't just a window of opportunity for the world's most famous innovator to reach out, but your own chance to stop being comfortable with almosts and maybes? What if Musk's message isn't about him at all, but about you rewriting the ending to your own story? Pause, notice the story you tell yourself every day, in your head, when nobody's watching. Maybe it's the story of someone who's too late, or not enough, or too overwhelmed to get started. Maybe it's the voice that whispers, "You missed your shot," whenever opportunity comes knocking, and it stings, that little ache of regret, the price of playing it safe. What if you could interrupt that voice, right here, right at the final minute? Let all those doubts float up to the surface now. Imagine them one by one. This is probably a scam, this is probably for someone else, this isn't the right time, I'm probably not the person they're talking to. Let every excuse you've ever used to stay unseen show up. Don't fight them. Just notice them. Because this is what Musk faced when he put everything on the line: doubt, disbelief, even humiliation. The only difference between him and everyone else wasn't genius, or luck, or money. It was stubbornness. Refusing to freeze when everyone around him was waiting. Now, try this. Imagine 2 paths opening up in front of you. One is paved with every excuse you've ever used, perfectly reasonable, totally safe. You can see the end of that road clearly, same routines, same outcomes, nothing unexpected. The other path is shadowy, electric, wild. It's filled with risk and doubt and the thrill of maybe failing, but it's also lined with moments you'll never forget. This is where every world changer walked. Think about it, do you really want the road where nothing surprising ever happens? You're standing at that split right now. The only thing between you and possibility is choice. Not luck, not talent, not a viral moment, just that small, private, inconvenient decision to keep going, even though your mind is looking for an exit ramp. The world won't reward you for playing it safe. It never has, it never will. Only you can decide that the old story is over and a new one starts now. Let's pause here, breathe. Musk knows that people are driven by two things, the pain of regret, and the thrill of purpose. Which force will be stronger for you, 5 minutes from now, when you realize time has run out? Will you remember the feeling in your chest, the secret hope that maybe, just maybe, this time it's finally your turn? Or will you remember 1,000 other things that distracted you from ever finding out what that hope could have become? There's a reason his message is disappearing. It's not just FOMO, not just clickbait. It's real. Life's best doors don't stay open forever. Because if every door stayed open, nobody would ever walk through one. The urgency isn't a game, it's the only way to force out truth from hesitation. To separate the almosts from the aboves. Musk made his name in that urgency. He wasn't born an icon, he had to claw his way through wave after wave of, you can't, you shouldn't, wait until you're ready, he kept going. And now you get to decide if you will too, or if you want to keep handing your power to hesitation. Pause. You feel that beat, don't you? Heart picking up, hands maybe a little unsteady as your mind wrestles with possibilities you usually keep buried when the world is watching. That's how you know you're alive. Everyone wants a sign, everyone wants permission. This is it. No paperwork, no badge or certificate arriving in the mail. The only permission that counts is the kind you give yourself right here, in the dark, while nobody else knows you're listening. Here's what most people believe, that legends are chosen, that if destiny wanted them to be great, it would be easy, obvious, painless. But you know what? Every single person who changed their life started with a silent private moment that no one else ever saw. A moment where it was just them, their doubts, and a decision that made no sense on paper. Elon Musk doesn't sit around waiting for perfect weather. He launches rockets into storms. He bets fortunes on ideas half the planet calls insane. He steps forward even when everything inside him says stay back. He knows that you can't cheat fate, you have to catch it on the run. That's why this message is for you, but only if you're bold enough to listen until the last second ticks down. Now take one more breath, let it out slow, and consider what your life could look like if you stopped looking for permission and started living in pursuit of the unknown. That's the edge, right there, the trembling, terrifying line between the safety you already know, and the wild amazingness you could have if you just keep watching, keep listening, keep feeling your own pulse instead of the world's noise. Look, there are people, maybe your friends, family, maybe even strangers online, who will tell you that all of this is wishful thinking or silly or naive. That's because they've never seen what you're about to see, if you stay. They've never watched a 5-minute window slam shut, knowing that on the other side is the future they almost had. You can't listen to them. They don't know what you know now, that regret is the only real monster in the closet. And today, Musk's message is your chance to face it down, once and for all. Pause. Let the silence soak in a bit. This is where the stories split for good. You can walk away and nothing changes. Or you can stay and one thing, just one, shifts inside you. You don't need to have faith in Elon Musk. Have faith in the part of yourself that stayed, even when your mind screamed run. That's the part that changes everything. You're almost at the end of the 5 minutes. What are you going to do? Let's get really honest now. You didn't come this far just to drift back to what's comfortable. If you're here, still tuned in while millions of others have moved on, it means something is shifting inside you, even if it's small, even if you can't explain it yet. There's a hidden part of you that wants to grab the world by the edges and pull yourself through the opening, before it closes. Pause, let the quiet hang in the room. That's where clarity gathers, in the space between heartbeats, in the space between almost and enough. You made it this far because you're different. And different is good. Different is what every big thing, every brave change, every new reality starts as. Not as a perfect plan, but as a single, trembling yes. Remember, when Musk was seconds away from losing it all, credit gone, cash gone, hope slipping, he didn't get a memo. He got a sensation. Gut instinct. A strange, risky what if, that he had to trust more than logic. The world never gave him permission to be extraordinary, so he refused to ask. That's your cue. If you're ever going to live in a way worth remembering, you'll have to ignore the critics in your head and the ones in the crowd, and trust the urge that says, keep going, you're almost there. Think of all the times in your life when you nearly did something brave, when you almost said what you really felt, almost applied, almost asked, almost started. How different would life look now if you'd said yes just one more time? How far would you have gone if you'd trusted your fear as a compass, not a stop sign? Pause, the tension isn't going away. It's supposed to be there. That shaking you feel, that dry mouth, that little voice saying, this could be real, that's the signal to lean in, not run. The universe doesn't send gold invitations, only whispers, only tight deadlines, only rare, disappearing minutes, begging to be seized. The biggest lie you'll ever hear is that you need more time to become ready. But nothing worth chasing waits until everything's lined up. Musk didn't wait for permission. He didn't finish preparing. He didn't sit out launches because he was afraid of failure. He jumped. He risked. He gave the world a chance to say yes, by saying yes to himself first. Pause, let this land. Because right now, the story you're writing is teetering on its edge. What happens in these last seconds isn't small. It could be the first chapter of the only story you'll care about when you look back. Are you really going to let the old script, other people's doubts, tired excuses, recycled fears, decide what comes next? Or will you turn those last grains of sand in the hourglass into action, even if your hands are shaking? If you could talk to a future version of yourself, the one who answered, who didn't walk away, who stared down the 5-minute mark and didn't blink, what would they tell you? Would they thank you? Would they laugh, remembering how scared yet excited you felt right now? Maybe they'd just smile, knowing everything changed in a moment you almost missed. Pause. If there's a lump in your throat, a pressure in your chest, that's the body's way of marking a real decision. The world is full of people who quit just before the message got good, who left the party before the door to another universe swung open. Musk wasn't chosen, he chose. Every builder, every innovator, every secret hero you've ever admired, they all chose, in moments like this, to keep going. Now, you get to choose. Will you be another name in the file of what ifs, or will you do what the 99% never do, and bet on yourself? Right now, no more timeouts, no more almosts, just raw choice. Imagine, for a second, someone describing you not as careful, reliable, safe, but as electric, untamed, unstoppable. The kind of person who says yes, who answers the call, who doesn't need comfort to grow bold. That's a destiny written by moments exactly like this one. Let's pause, just you, the ticking clock, and the question hanging between you and the life you could have. This is the final minute. Musk is about to close the message. The offer is about to expire. The world goes back to routine. Your routine. Unless you step outside it, unless you linger where most click away. Breathe, slow, deep, maybe for the first time all day. Feel how possible you really are. Trust the version of yourself that arrived here, didn't flinch, didn't turn away, didn't let fear win. That's not luck. That's proof. And now, here's the truth nobody posts on Instagram, nobody puts on a coffee mug. The lesson Musk kept learning, over and over, is that time waits for no one, and the moment always passes to the person who moves first, feels first, says yes before the world is ready. You weren't supposed to watch this. You weren't supposed to get here. But the fact that you did, means you're the type opportunity waits for. Not for long, but long enough. This is the last call. The window slams shut the moment you leave. The message disappears. The curtain falls. Only you will know whether you ran or stayed, whether you risked or recycled, whether these last minutes changed anything, or everything. So what happens next? That's up to you. 5 minutes ago, you were ordinary. Now you're standing at a cosmic intersection only a few ever see. Most will leave a little sad, still waiting for validation, still insisting it's not their time. But you're the rarest thing on earth, someone who answered, who chose, who finished. Pause, one last time. Eyes closed, heart pounding, decision in the air. If Musk had one thing to say, it wouldn't be about rockets or Mars or innovation or Twitter. It would be this: trust yourself while there's still time. Be the exception. Be the story people whisper about when the world wakes up. This is the last chance. Elon Musk is waiting for you. But only for these final seconds, then he moves on, the message disappears, and the world keeps spinning. You're not average. You're not here by accident. And you will never know what's possible if you don't choose now, before it's gone. So, will you answer, or will you leave Musk, and your own potential, waiting for someone else? This is it. The window closes. Now.